Good evening, everyone, and I wanted to welcome you to our interview with Theresa Day on essential oils this evening. My name is Angela Bulmer, and I'm the marketing coordinator here at Justine Blaney Wellness Center. And I have the privilege and opportunity to interview Theresa Day and really understand her depth of knowledge in regards to essential oils. So please help me welcome Theresa Day.
Thank you.
Theresa, I understand that you are really passionate about essential oils. So you are an expert here, and you are own a business in regards to distributing the Young Living essential oils. I'm wondering if you could tell us just a brief background about yourself and how did you learn about essential oils?
I had a business for about 30 years, bookkeeping accounting business. And although I had that, I was always interested in natural remedies rather than pharmaceutical. It's just the way that I'm made. And I was in a catastrophic accident, 2009, and needed to have some way back. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I still get choked up about it.
It's okay.
It's been a long journey. Lots of different things that I've done to help myself on my way to get off of the narcotics and pharmaceuticals that I was put on. And so Dr. Justine, of course, one, helping me get the curve back in my neck, helping me with my chronic migraine and pain. So I see her every week, and that's mandatory. The other thing that I discovered was essential oils. I had been looking into different products that would help me get my health back and help me feel good enough that I could come off of the pharmaceuticals. And I'm not a doctor. I'm not mandating that everybody follow my path. You can take pharmaceuticals and use essential oils.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to come off them, so I'm really pleased that I'm, no longer on them. So that's sort of my journey. I discovered them. I, bought a kit. I started experimenting, seeing how things made me feel. Because it was a car accident, I was still 5 years later, really leery of driving. And one of the ones that helped me so much that way was Stress Away. And I would have it on my wrist every time I got in the car. If the traffic started scaring me or other drivers, I would just pull my wrist up to my nose and sniff it in. And it goes right into your limbic system. And, it can help with your limbic system and controls blood pressure and stress and heart rate and all these things. So breathing in can really help you if you have, areas of concern into your emotions also.
Wow, that's incredible that you've taken such a tragic event and really turned that around both for yourself from a health perspective, but now you're helping others as well. So why did you choose to get into actually selling the essential oils?
I guess I don't think of it as selling. I think of it as helping. So I don't. I can tell people about the essential oils. I can tell them what it's done for me. I can give samples to people so they can see, if there's any changes that they find before they buy. But mostly, I just want to help people to be the healthiest that they can be, live their best life.
Mhm.
So I do sell them. I do get a commission. I'm not saying I don't. And that's all very nice. But my main goal is to help people be healthy.
That's awesome. And how has in tangible ways, can you describe the ways in which essential oils have made a difference in your life?
For sure. I was on so many drugs. I had the full gamut after the accident, the chronic pain, the chronic migraines, the depression, anxiety, PTSD, like it was the whole gamut. And now, instead of being on pharmaceuticals, I use the oils, and I've had to experiment. Everybody's chemistry is different. One of my prime things was lack of sleep, brought on by anxiety. And, I tried, I went on the internet like everybody. I Googled, tried different ones, lavender and peppermint, cedarwood, I tried a whole bunch of them until I found the one that worked for me, which is lavender and peace and calming. And I put that in my diffuser at night and I'm out in 5 minutes. I can't even read at night anymore. So kind of, that's made a big difference. And they also have an oil called M Green and one called Deep Relief. And when I feel a migraine coming on, that's what I put on me. I put Deep Relief and I put M Green. And I put it like it's in my hair, it's on my head, it's everywhere, just to help with the migraine. It's not a cure. The migraine may only go away for 2 or 3 hours and then be back. So it has to be reapplied. But it's something different than, Imitrex and all the other things that they were giving me for my migraines.
Right. That's pretty powerful, the impact it has had. When you're thinking about essential oils, how do you pick out a good oil? What criteria do you have?
So is your question more about why I might pick a Young Living one rather than a drugstore one? Is that what you mean?
I think there are a lot out there in the market, and I think it would be really great to educate our viewers about how to go about their journey, the beginning of their journey. Yeah, in picking a really great oil for themselves.
Well, one of the things is to choose an oil that has the Latin names on it of the plants.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's right away.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't have that, it probably doesn't have what it says it has in it. A lot of companies, use fillers, or I've seen it. I saw this ad once that said, this is when you use a coffee filter for, the first time, and then you don't change it, and you run water again and again and again. So a lot of companies, to save money, you're getting third, fourth dilution instead of the first. And I mean, the thing that sold me on Young Living is that you can visit the farms all around the world. So you can visit the farms, you can go to their head office, to their science lab, like you're outside, of course, because you're not gowned and everything, but the windows are all there. And you can read what they're doing and see what they're doing. At the farms, you see the distillation. So there's an authentic part of it that I really like. The traveler in me would like, of course, to go to every country, every farm, just partly for that and partly because, to explore the world of it. That's a huge thing. Basically, you get what you pay for. So if you want something that's therapeutic, maybe going to help your child concentrate in school, maybe going to help you release some stress, you're not going to get it with a drugstore one, usually.
Okay.
Because you're paying much less and it's just not the right quality. And there's a lot of stuff like picking at the right time. I mean, if you can imagine, I was in Ecuador in February and went to our Ecuador farm, which has ylang ylang. And if you can imagine, they actually watch the bees for when the bees go to the flowers. And after that, they know that that is the best time to pick because that's the time that the bees are choosing. And I
Mm-hmm.
found that fascinating.
Yeah, that's incredible. The level of transparency is really important when obviously selecting an organization or a company that is making essential oils. Hmm. Can you share a few of your favorite oils and why they're your favorites?
Jasmine is my absolute favorite. It's expensive though. I mean, we have lots of oils that are under $20. Jasmine is closer to 100 for 5 mils. So it's very expensive. And
Hmm.
I use it as a perfume. So just, one drop a day, or not even every day I use it, but just one drop. And there's 80 drops in there. So one drop, and I feel like $1,000,000. I smell it. I feel sexy. It calms me. It's just, for some reason, that's how it affects my limbic system. So that's one of my favorites. Stress Away, of course. Valor, which I put on today. Valor is for facing the unknown when you're nervous about things, that sort of
Okay. A
quality.
confidence booster.
It's a confidence booster. So I did put that on today, being my
That's,
first time.
that's okay. And your depth of knowledge of essential oils is really important. And so you've tested a lot. And how do you test them and determine the right dosages and the right one? So when you were if you were to be recommending to people, how they could effectively test them on themselves, really selecting the right dosage, even to start, or how to know when to increase or decrease. Mm-hmm.
You have to be a little bit of your own scientist and your own advocate, because everybody's different. So definitely testing would be, a drop or two. I personally like them on my skin. I diffuse as well. So there's a few ways that you can use them, or essential oils, especially pure ones, on your skin. You can diffuse. You can put a drop on your hand and you can just tint it.
Mm-hmm.
Smell in. That is, if you use peppermint like that in the afternoon, say you're tired at 3 o'clock, I can't tell you. I gave it to a lady at a casino that she worked there, and I was just chatting with her, and she did that, and I saw her 2 hours later, and she was like, wow, that really gave me a boost. I still have it. So
Wow.
different ways, but putting it on your skin and leaving it for half an hour to see if there's a reaction, and just like one drop. If there is a reaction, and I personally haven't had a reaction for anything, and have used hundreds so far. But then you would maybe put with a carrier oil. So my favorite carrier oil is coconut oil, because I have it in the kitchen. So you put, maybe a teaspoon of carrier oil in a little dish, and then a couple of drops of the essential oil, and then spread it on. My sister actually does that with peppermint when she plays hockey. She puts it on her aches and pains in her legs afterwards. So there's,
Yeah.
yeah, and definitely, especially people that are older, and especially children, definitely need to have it diluted. Their skin is much thinner. A child has less area of skin than we do as adults. So it really impacts them a lot. You should never, ever put it straight on a child under 12 without dilution.
Okay. Just because it absorbs faster or more
Well,
potently?
and yes, and there's less because, of course, as it's absorbing, it's going into your bloodstream. Then it's going into every cell in your body. We have so many more cells than children do.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so the potency is, to me, logically, I'm thinking, is sort of increased with them, because they just don't have that volume of cells to absorb it. And I
Yeah.
will add something here and say, that, and I've done this, if you get any essential oil on any mucous membrane. So that might be like inside your mouth, your nose, you touch your nose, you touch inside your ears, and your eyes, big one, right? Which is what I've done. And you do not use water. Absolutely do not use water. Water will make it sting more. What you do is you take any oil that you have in the kitchen, so coconut oil for me, could be olive, could be vegetable oil, and you put a bit on your fingertips if it's in your eye, and you just rub around, take a cloth or a napkin, whatever, wipe it off. If it's the intensity has gone down, that's great. If it hasn't, just do it again. And that's how you wash out any oil, or even on your skin, you have a reaction, put the oil on top. Let the oil absorb it and wipe it off.
Amazing. So you've talked about this particular risk. Are there any other risks with essential oils that we should be mindful of?
There are, I mean, we have some that are estrogen related. That are great for women that want that, like if you're having hot flashes, that sort of thing. But they should be avoided by people who perhaps have breast cancer and are not supposed to have estrogens.
Okay.
So there's that kind of thing. My sister uses ginger on her. She has rheumatoid arthritis, and this is what works for her, as I'm saying. Not maybe for everybody, but for her. And she uses that on her knuckles, and it seems to really help. She uses it, I think, every 2 hours, she finds, is the frequency that she needs before the pain comes back. And I did read something on, so I read a lot of Google stuff, safety stuff, and I did read something that ginger itself can, if you've got, if you're taking a blood thinner, ginger might not be the best thing to use.
Okay, so there's some precautions, you want to make sure that any underlying health risks that you have, that you're keeping those in mind as you're using some of the essential oils. Is there, can you describe some of the benefits of essential oils that people could see?
So, well, there's pain relief, of course. We have one called digest. So if I overeat, so think turkey time, or
Thanksgiving coming.
Or if I have a stomach ache, say because I'm constipated or whatever, I put that on my stomach, and that is like half an hour, and I have relief. So I love, I don't go anywhere without it. And of course, I don't use a lot of lavender. I have used that on a burn, and it did, the burn did not swell up into a blister. So, crazy, I put my hand in the oven, grabbed, I know.
I think we've all done it at one point or another. Our stoves are just not always friendly.
No, they're not. And when you're not thinking clearly and obviously, and just grab something, it's not the best. So there's that. The peppermint I love for energy.
Okay.
And for stuffiness. I use it also. I just put a little dab under my nose, and it seems to help during that season when I get stuffy. Thieves is one of our best sellers, and it has a lot of antibacterial, antiviral, anti this and that in it. That the reason I use it is I use it especially if I get a cold. So I'll make a little roller ball that has thieves and thyme and oregano in it. And I'll just roll that on the bottom of my feet while I have a cold. And I do find that it dissipates more quickly. And I've heard some of the parents in the group say that they use it when their kids are going to school. They put it on their feet every night and every morning just to keep them from catching everything and bringing it home.
I was
So
going to say, and it smells wonderful.
I
It
love it.
really does.
I
Yeah.
love
Yeah. When we think about the different, age brackets, who can use essential oils? And, are there different ages that can use them or not use them?
I don't know that there's an age that can't use them. Um, so I've seen a video by a mom in our bigger group who her baby was crying and she took a bottle of Gentle Baby and she just like waved it under the baby's nose and the baby settled down. So not applying obviously, but you can diffuse and you have to, I would say more than people, it's animals you have to be careful of. There's, especially cats, there's some oils that cats do not like that they cannot absorb, and it's
Mm.
bad to have them around the cats. I don't have animals, but I have an encyclopedia about it so that if anybody has questions I can always look it up. But that's very important. And even with a dog, you just want to, I mean, common sense is that you don't, if you're diffusing anything, you just don't close the door. Like you're not locked in with the scent, right?
Yeah.
So animals can get away, kids can walk away. You're not getting it full on all the time, but it's lovely when you walk into the room.
Yeah. So, Teresa, is there anything that you would love to more to share about essential oils, about, how we can use them or the strategies about essential oils?
We have a lot of different kits. So we have a feelings kit. We have, gratitude. We have joy. So we have a lot of different products that help bring out different emotions. So wearing joy every day, I think of when I put it on, I think, oh, this is my joy for today. I'm going to be, have a great day. And when I put my gratitude on, I'm like, oh, I'm so grateful for everything. So for me, I also do a little bit of thinking or affirmation or that when I use the oil. Um,
Hmm.
I I'm sorry, I've lost my train of thought.
That's okay. We were just talking overall about essential oils and if there was anything else that you had wanted to share about essential oils.
Just try them, like and make sure that you get good quality. I
Mhm.
obviously represent Young Living. There are other quality companies out there. I'm not going to say there aren't. I haven't looked into them. I think Young Living is the only one that's transparent with the farms and how they manage, seed to seal and but do your research, absolutely. And I think everybody could use them, and especially now with COVID, everybody's stressed out, they're staying home, and parents are finding that being a teacher and a parent isn't as easy as it looks. And so there's
No.
lots, and there's lots of combinations that you can use for different reasons that will bring out the best in you, the best in your children, best in
That's
your family.
That's amazing. So, Teresa, I wanted to be able for us to share because, our viewers may have additional questions or things that maybe they want to talk just for their specific situation. And we'll just share your contact information because Teresa has opened herself up to be able to be reached out directly at naturalhealthingvitality@yahoo.com. If you want to talk more about essential oils, about your own, personal situation, what might work best for you, or if you would like to be able to connect with her in, being able to try some of the oils. Okay,
Yes, and
Teresa, I want. Oh, go ahead.
sorry, I was just going to say there's never any obligation. Don't feel that. Don't not contact me because you think, oh, I'm going to try and sell you. That's not it. I just want you to be healthy. If I can give you samples to help you be that way, then that just makes me happy.
Oh, that's amazing. So, Theresa, I wanted to thank you so much for sharing your background, your personal journey into essential oils, your depth of knowledge that you have shared with us today about the benefits and how to really, understand good quality oils, some of the benefits and the drawbacks. You want to make sure that we're always mindful of any of the risks. I think you've shared a wealth of knowledge, and I wanted to personally thank you so much for being here today and for opening up yourself in helping us understand a lot more about essential oils. Thank you, Theresa.
Thank you very much.